to be Uncensored Minds, episode 149. Nell is still with the black screen, but he's still alive, people. He's still with us.
I'm still alive. I apologize for the black screen. Y'all see me after I come out. I came down. I came overseas to get my teeth done
Oh,
and get a
shit.
little bit. I got a daddy makeover. So I haven't recovered yet, but when I do recover, y'all gonna see the real me.
No, do not come back with no chiclets. You understand me?
My
You
shit's
said you
my.
getting your teeth done. Don't come back with no chiclets.
I got them done. They shining bright. They big too. I go get them
No.
right before we leave. I gotta go get them filed down a little bit. So you know what I mean. I'm coming back home
Stop it.
shining and profiling.
I can't. Well, let's stick on the road to, allowing people to accept accountability and working on being able to stand in accountability. I was asked this week, what was the worst thing that I have done in the last 30 days? And how did I attempt to make it right?
Oh, that's easy. I ain't did shit in 30 days, but go ahead, Ish.
Bye, my nigga.
I've been good
Bye,
the
my
last
nigga.
30 days, man.
All right, well, the last 45 days, the last 60 days, we can take this back. Within the last 6 months, it was a question to me within 30 days, but what was the worst thing that you've done in the last, let's just say, and how did you make it right?
Let's not even put a time on it. Just say what's the worst thing
Right.
you did,
Or
and
the
how
last,
did you attempt to
last
fix it.
thing you did, or just the last thing you did.
Yeah, the last thing you've done, the worst thing you've done. And how did you make it right?
Well, I get in trouble every day, though. Like, I still get in trouble every day. I get in trouble for my mouth. I get in trouble for my past actions. I get in trouble for laughing. Like,
Not laughing, for breathing. You get in trouble for breathing too. I know you do. Because you just look like you get in trouble for breathing.
I do.
We held to such a high level of scrutiny. Like a high level of scrutiny comes our way because we could say something, our stance on a particular topic, what we say, just what we do. So many times people get so emotional based upon the things that we say right here on this whole platform, right? You know what I mean? Not knowing, not understanding that we are fucking grown. And we have the freedom to express our feelings because everybody else express their feelings and everybody say how they feel and say what they want to say. But the moment that we say something, we're like liable and we're held accountable for our thoughts. We have those rights to say what we feel. And even if it doesn't align with what you feeling at that moment, you gotta give people the opportunity to say what they have to say because they are individuals who nobody has the right to censor nobody. Nobody has the right to try to check nobody over what they said. If that's what they said, that's what they said. And if you're not mature enough to understand that people have their opinions, then that's a problem.
All right, what did you get in trouble for, Ish?
So as of late, intentional, and two, it was clarified, it's intentional, like things that you know that you have done intentionally. Some things are unintentional, like your thoughts and your opinions and things like that. But this was intentional. For me, it was
I'll go
ignoring.
for after you finish.
Huh?
I'll go into the last shit that I got in trouble for after you finish.
Right. Mine was intentionally ignoring a friendship.
So how did you take accountability for that?
So I haven't fully taken account.
Okay. Shout out to the ladies who never have fully taken accountability.
Because
even though she knows she wrong.
Right. Even though I know, and that's just this is a moment of transparency. This is a moment of honesty. This is a moment of keeping it real. I know that it is something that has happened, something that I haven't nurtured, something that I have taken a step back from, and I haven't fully placed full input into that friendship. It was brought to my attention, and I basically, said, listen, my problems are stronger at the moment, and I'm gonna get back, right? I think being fully accountable would be to get back and to make it right. So I haven't come full circle to do that yet, but I've acknowledged that I'm wrong.
Can I ask you a question while
Yeah.
we're right here?
Uh-huh.
When it comes to women, why is it always all right, I'm gonna get to it. Why is it always a wait period? That's all I want to know. Why is it always a wait period? Like when y'all want us to fix some shit, y'all want us to fix it today or yesterday. When it comes to y'all fixing some shit, it's always a wait period. That's all I wanted to know. Why?
Well, I can't speak for every woman, but I can say for me, when I say I'm going to circle back to something, it is me genuinely, because I'm a softie. I'm a pleaser. We've learned this. I tread softly. I make nice. I do a lot of things in that circle, like of being a good, wholehearted individual, right? But I think for me, when I don't commit to something or fulfill something, it's because I've taken myself and put myself first because of a need to do that at that point in time. So that's why I say, hey, I got to get back to that. That's bullshit. You call bullshit?
No, I don't call bullshit. I appreciate your honesty in that. What I want to ask is, why aren't we given that grace to put ourselves first sometimes and to give you a wait period?
You should be afforded it. You should definitely be afforded
stop
it.
saying what we should be afforded.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't, like, you know what I mean? I can say in my situation that I would afford that opportunity, or that we would talk through a situation, but I can't speak for why all women don't do that, or why women don't afford that opportunity to do that. It's difficult. I could only assume.
I don't think it's difficult. I think it's a choice. You're choosing to make me wait, but you're also choosing I don't get a wait period. Right. That's why I say it's always a choice.
And two, Nell and I talked about, mentioned this ego thing last week. I think it's not difficult, but I think it's difficult for the ego to step aside and not show its face in certain instances like this.
I think I'm learning, or I've learned to remove my ego from certain situations, because the last shit I got in trouble for was, you were supposed to Ben stop talking to these bitches. What I mean by that is, and in my eyes, or maybe in most guys' eyes, is that if I'm not communicating with you like with the other girls on the regular, if it's like a once every 3 weeks, it's just like a "what's up, you good" kind of thing, or I just wanted to tell you something that happened, and we're not fucking, I don't really consider that us still talking to these bitches. But in a female's eyes, that is still a violation. So that is the last shit that I got in trouble for, and learning and understanding that even though to us it's nothing, to them it's still everything.
Why do y'all think that is? Do you think it's an insecurity thing, or do you think it's because?
Yes. Okay. You know why? Because if you were talking to a guy, a friend, and y'all was just like, hey, good morning or whatever, it's just, oh, that's just that. But if we did it, it's, oh my God, we starting a new relationship. She's living in the back room, and a whole bunch of other shit that come with that.
Right.
Y'all got friends, right? Y'all women got friends. If a man has a woman friend, he's fucking her. Why is that always y'all thoughts? I'm gonna leave y'all with that one. My connection is absolutely horrible over here. My connection is absolutely horrible over here. I'm getting feedback. I'm getting stops. I wanted to jump on here because I'm committed to my people, my show, my loves, which is y'all Uncensored Minds. This is 149.
Yeah.
Let's call this the Nell going overseas to get some work done to his body and his teeth. So this is episode 149. The Get Nell Right episode. When I come back, we're gonna have new teeth. We're gonna have a new 6-pack. You know what I mean? I got the daddy makeover this time. Aisha's recovering from her mommy makeover. Nell went and got some teeth done and a little body work. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. My connection is super nasty right now. So I'm gonna holler at y'all.
All right.
All right now.
All right, Ish. So where am I wrong at? And like, if the girl texts me and she just was like, "Yo, I didn't know, such and such about suits," am I supposed to not just respond? Because is that a violation? Like, tell me how you want a man to move forward.
No, I really feel like these are conversations that partners should have, that
Right.
people in partnerships or relationships should have. Like, hey, listen, we're human, we have friends, we're open to communicating with others, but as long as we don't cross any boundaries, you know what I mean, it's all good. How I know you're crossing a boundary is if shit gets out of line and I see some shit or I hear some shit or or some shit reveals itself. Other than that, like, text them. Like, people should feel secure in their relationships and their partnerships, so that a text about clothes or a text about what I should do or a text about what did you eat today or something should not affect whatever, and vice versa.
Right.
Because what happens when a nigga is on my line, or you know what I mean, or a nigga is on her line? Like, everybody should feel secure in their place.
Right, but that's what I mean. So it goes from what you're saying to, since a nigga's not on my line, a chick shouldn't be on your line.
Well, get some niggas on your line. That's what I say. Get some niggas on your line, sis. We can make this as simple as a piece of fucking cake, algebra, geometry, whatever you want to do. Like, he got some niggas. He got some bitches on his line. Get some niggas on your line. Is that tit for tat? Sure, might be. Oh well. It makes it simple. It makes it even. Let's go. Let's have it. See, I'm one of those. I'm. You're right. I'm just a little nigga.
You a little nigga.
Little nigga in a little soft body, with some titties and some ass.
So getting back to you, Ish.
Yeah.
When are you going? When you finish your self-love, or when you finish whatever you're handling, is that when you're going to get back to it? Because that'd be my whole point. I'd be like, all right, I'm cool with all the shit that you asked me to do. Just let me know when you going to do the shit that I asked you to do. That's all. Thanks. Like, I could do that shit yesterday. Whatever you asked me to do, I could do immediately. But then you gonna tell me I gotta wait for the shit that I want you to do.
Yeah, facts. I mean, luckily for me, in a sense, it's not in regards to male female partnership or anything like that. It's a friendship. And sometimes, you have to take into consideration that, you know what I mean, some situations or friendships or whatever can be a little more needy or a little more overbearing than others. And you have to sort of prioritize some shit. So, as I've stated, like, when I am in a good space with myself and I have enough energy and a wherewithal to pour into this friendship or this relationship, then I will. That doesn't take away from the love that I have for you, from me honoring our friendship or whatever the case may be. And some people may say, well, Isha, you're not a good fucking friend, because if you can't juggle the 9,999 things you got going on, and this one is not important enough for you, then so be it. Then that's just what Isha will be. I will be a bad fucking friend. I get it. But I'm going to circle back, because I still got mad love. But
like, my friends know, like, I'm not the everyday friend. My friends know that. So it's like, if you really need me, I'll show up for you. Or even if you call me and you need me, I'll show up for you. But I'm not the everyday friend.
Right.
I'm busy. I got shit to do.
Yeah. Busy, got shit to do. Life is lifing.
Right. Life is
fucking shit is going fucking haywire half the time. Like, I get it. And again, if it was one of those
friends that you talk to every day though?
Yeah, there are. There are. And then there are friends and friendships that require a lot more. And sometimes you just can't give that. And that's what I'm speaking of. Like, you know what I mean? And not for any reason. Like, no, that friend is not going through a trying time. No, that friend is not dealing with death. No, that friend is not dealing with illness. No, that friend is not dealing with
She's just
troubles that
clingy.
they need
She's just a clingy friend.
Facts. Facts. And that's what I'm speaking of. And and I get it. Every friend needs love and attention and affection. I get it. But sometimes you got to prioritize and remove certain things that are draining to your mind, body, and spirit.
Facts.
And just set them aside for a second.
Facts.
I'll be back.
So, since Uncensored Minds is an informational show, I did want to give the people some information, and I know that the laws are different sometimes from state to state, but I did want to give some people some information as far as how laws work, and I'll give some brief examples of that. Like when I was younger, like 15 or 16, something like that, we used to have this like running joke about like, don't catch a domestic, that's a 3 to 5. Like there was just certain, laws that were instilled in us that, we knew. And a lot of times people don't know these kinds of things. So you working in a law office, what is the main, like laws, or what is the main things that you see people get caught up on?
Most of the time, honestly, now is domestic.
Right.
Is domestic issues, domestic situations, or things stemming from domestic situations.
Right.
And domestic can be with family too, not just loves, but family, domestic issues, that and guns.
Right.
Those are the two
gun charges. So also it was a thing like, all right, gun charges like more than likely 5 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people don't know when they're outside, like youngins or even some older people. You don't know that when you're outside just carrying a gun willy-nilly, that's not registered to you, that's not licensed, all these things. That was a normal 5-year sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So these kind of laws is like where I'm from, you just grow up learning. So because information is key, people. I'll be trying to tell you all the time. Information is key. So I remember one of my young boys getting caught and he had a 9 with like hollow points, and he had to do the whole 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he was probably only like 18 at the time. Mm-hmm. So these are things that people don't know. Like even certain things, like there was a point in time when I was running reckless, and my license was suspended for like 10 years. I was still driving like in motion, but my license was suspended for 10 years. And I want to tell people that these are things like when I was outside, like doing whatever I was doing, these are things that you have to know. So like if you're driving and you have a suspended license and the car is not in your name, that's when they take your car and take it to the impound lot. If you're driving a car without insurance, that's when they take your car and take it to the impound lot. And then they add on all these fees for you to get your car back. They'll make you pay any ticket that you ever had in life to get your car back. So all these things are just information that people don't know about. So there was like, even I knew like there was certain time where I might have had a stash of this or that. And because I didn't have my license, they were able to just, search the car and take my shit. But I had a license, all my paperwork was right. Even if they take the drugs, you can get that shit thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all information that people don't know because they don't know the law.
Right. Yeah.
So even in a domestic situation, how is it that, what is the most proof of it? Is it like the physical, like bruises?
Mhm.
What is the
Mhm.
things that people get caught up on inside of a,
Yeah, inside
is
of a
it text
domestic.
is it text messages? What is it?
Most of the time, I'm going to be honest with you, was hanging what the prosecution is hanging their hats on is history. Because a lot of the times, the text messages, sure. Um, Physical injury, sure, minor. I mean, obviously, if you got a black eye and a broken vertebrae or some shit, that's evidence that is undeniable, right? But most of the time it's soft tissue injuries, bruising, a little nick here, a little scrape here. Those are not really hardcore evidence of domestic abuse or anything like that. Most of the time it's the history, the 911 calls, um the reports from neighbors of sounds, disruption, disturbances, and things of that. That's where a lot of the prosecution is hanging their hats on history, because everything else is superficial in a
Yeah, if he say
sense.
she say. If he say she say.
Correct. So either bang down, drag out, knock out bouts where there is extreme physical evidence of abuse or hospitalization or testing or things like that, or history.
All
Yep,
right,
that's where people are getting twisted.
so we were talking earlier about like POs and things of that nature. Um, I had a federal case, right? So I used to sit with my PO all the time, and she used to just tell me, she used to just give me game, and she used to just be like, "They don't pay me enough to be outside monitoring what you do. So as long as you do what I need you to do, I'm not going to fucking bother you."
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it used to be. Like some people think that um when you have a case or X, Y, and Z that these people are constantly monitoring you. And that, I think that depends on the level of the case or whatever is going on. But for the most part, they're not fucking watching you 24/7.
At all. At all.
So as long as you abide by the shit that they need you to abide by, you'll be cool. Like you should pretty much be good, unless you get a dickhead PO that just want to fuck with you. But for
Yeah.
the most part, if you go in, your pee is clean, you're paying your restitution, whatever they may be. Like I was on house arrest, so I couldn't come the fuck outside. It would piss me off. But long as you abide by those things that they, whatever they want you to do, it's pretty much like it's not a hard thing to figure out.
Piece of cake.
Like
Piece of cake. It's a cakewalk.
how
For real,
many
for real.
times how many times have you seen people go in on a violation, and what is the violations?
I see we handle a lot of
Right.
violations, and that's just speaking from, my office standpoint. Um, we see a lot of violations. Most of the violations are technical. Technical, just the difference between the two. Technical is not adhering to your probation structure, meaning hot urines or not checking in, not keeping a job, not paying restitution, all of that stuff. Those are technical violations. The direct violations are obviously the ones where you catch another case, you're caught with a gun, you're in the middle of a fight, you get into a physical altercation, whatever. Those are direct violations. Most of them, technical violations are just the dumbest shit, like you said, just hot urines. You're not supposed to be smoking weed, or you can at least try to clean up your pee before you go see your PO. Then you won't get those little stupid type of technical violations.
All right, hold on, issue, because I do want to stay there on that cleaning the pee thing. So people gotta know that when you're doing these experimental piss cleaning things, that just makes your test come back like what do they call that shit? Like unrecognizable or some shit. So that just
Mhm.
makes your test come back unclear. That don't mean that you're gonna pass your piss test. That just means that you confuse the test So they know that you're doing some shit to try to clean your pee.
Fakes. But to help them, it doesn't come back hot, but it just triggers them to know that, hey, they're doing something. Right. They have taken some sort of derivative or some sort of something to attempt to clean their pee. It either glows, it's bright, neon yellow. Like they know that it is an additive in your system that is trying to clear and confuse the test. So it doesn't come up hot and you can't technically get violated for that. But trust me, the triggers is up. It might result in them asking for more pee tests.
Right.
So instead of once a month.
Normally they be like, all right, you got a couple days to get this shit right.
Thanks. Or we gonna have an issue. Right? Yeah. So like people don't know, it could trigger them to then alter their requirements. Right. Because you could have to give a urine test or drug test once every 2 months, and then you do some shady shit. Now it's once every 2 weeks. Now you gotta come check in. You know what I mean? Because ultimately the POs are going to be cool, especially the ones that have been in it for a while. You get the new POs who trying to make a name for themselves, who trying to be by the book and be on their boss's radar to say, oh, they're a good, tough PO, and they're going to have them do the right thing. Those are the ones you got to watch out for because they on your ass. But the ones who are seasoned and have been there, they cool. Just do what the fuck you're supposed to do. I'm not riding you. I'm not riding you.
So I want to tell the people that I think this is still the case, but you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think that alcohol stays in your system for like 7 to 11 hours, and weed stays in your system for at least 30 days.
That is correct. Yeah, that's correct. So they do have tests for the alcohol too. A lot of people don't know that, T. Right. A lot of people don't know that if you're not supposed to be under any drug or alcohol or whatever, if you're not supposed to be under any influence of anything, right, they can test you for alcohol. And people, I will see people get violated for that too, alcohol, and they don't even know.
Facts. So a lot of times during traffic stops, it's the suspended license or the warrants that will get you in trouble. Like as long as your shit comes back straight, you should be good. Like as long as you're not making no extra moves, like reaching for shit, doing X, Y, and Z, you should be good. But that is the shit that get you caught up, is the suspended license or the warrants.
Yep. Suspended license, warrants, or here is the kicker, T. All the fucking time. Old marijuana or weed smells.
Oh, for sure. I don't even smoke weed. And this bull pulled me over one day. It was like, yo, it smells like fucking weed. Are you high? I was like, yo, I don't even smoke. But he was like deliberate, like trying to tell me that I was high.
Listen, yeah, because you know what? They see it so much that even if they feel like they get a scent of it, like it could be, and that's the problem, because it could be flowing down the wind. Right. It could be flowing down the wind past your car and he could just get a smell of it. If they smell weed in the car, old weed, whether it's old, whether it's fresh, whatever, that's automatic. That's automatic. And people don't realize that too. So you shouldn't smoke in the fucking car.
Facts. You definitely shouldn't smoke in the car. And I also want to tell people, because I'm a person who is always a tinted window kind of person. So when you have tinted windows, there are certain things that's going to get you pulled over. Like I always will have my back window blacked out, and I'll have my back two rear windows blurred out. But my front two windows, I'll have the light. I think it's like 15 or 25%. It'll be lighter than my back windows. So as long as the cops are able to see inside your car, then they normally can't, or they wouldn't pull you over for tinted windows. But when you have your whole car blacked out and the front window like halfway down, you are asking to be pulled over for tinted windows because they think you up to some shit.
Facts. Automatic. And 9 times out of 10, the person with those bombed out tinted
Right.
windows like that
Right.
got some shit to hide. They got some shit in that car. There's something not legal on their car, meaning registration not in order. It's stolen vehicle. They ain't got no license to like. It's some shit that's going on that ain't right.
But you damn near tipping them on to you by doing that. If you know your shit is not straight, like if you know your shit is not straight, don't do the OD tint. Like don't do the OD shit. You only asking for it. It's only a matter of time. Like
right. Then you say, "Oh, well, they just fucking with me." Obviously, it's the fucking law.
Right.
Like it's the law that your tint can't be past a certain percentage. Right. Now you're gonna do a tint 50 times darker than the percentage, then obviously they're gonna fuck with you. You can't be mad at them. They're doing their job because it's the law. And then they trying to argue 4 corners of the search warrant of the vehicle, and they can't really be successful all the time.
Now I will tell y'all the only way around this. Now, if all your paperwork is straight and you want to have your car bombed out, you have to get a note from your doctor saying that you have some kind of vision, eye issue, that the sun glare, bothers you, kind of thing. That you need a doctor's note. That's the only way you can like securely ride around with your whole car bombed out. And even if you get pulled over, it won't be an issue because you got paperwork for this. That's the only way around it.
Fix. And even if you have
I've been outside, I'm giving y'all that.
Yeah, and even if you have the letter and you have all your paperwork to the car and everything is in order, your license and all of that, whatever the case may be, if you get stopped and they search, there is good arguments for motion to suppress, but I have seen judges take into consideration the stop for any illegal activities, especially in our city, in the city of Philadelphia. A lot of things are changing due to the significant increase in crime rates, guns, drugs, etc. So be careful. All instilled.
I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I started getting my windows tinted is because when I first got a car, I had just turned 18, but I didn't have no facial hair. So I still looked it like I was like 14. So before I had my windows tinted, I was getting pulled over like every 3 days each. When I first got my car, I used to get pulled over like every 3 days. They would be like, "This ain't your car. Where did you get this car? What you doing with this car?" And they're like, "You're not even old enough to have this car." And I'm like, "What?" So that's when I started getting my windows tinted, just because I got tired of that shit.
Yeah. And that makes sense too, because you figure not only do you have the police looking at you, you got everybody else looking at you too. And in certain eras of our time, like that was carjacking, like stealing, like just a whole bunch of shit. So the tinted windows was actually just a protection piece too, as well. So yeah, I totally get that.
All right, so let's get into a little bit of the domestic side of it. So on the domestic side of it, they say that if somebody's staying with you, as long as they have mail come into your house, you can't really kick them out.
That is correct. There are things that can be in place. Every county is different. Every state laws are different. But as long as residence is established, you can't just put them out. But there are things in place that if there is a real domestic dispute issue, that people are governed by that protection law for abuse, to be able to say, "Hey, listen, you have to be removed from the property."
Let's stay right there, Ish, because there was times where my brother, the house would be in his name, all the bills would be in his name. But since there was like a domestic, even conversation, the cops would tell him to leave.
The man always has to go. I think that is just
crazy.
I think that's just the father systemic thing that the male being the protector, the provider, and all of that. I think that's just grandfathered in from
Traditional
way
shit.
back in time, traditional shit,
Right.
for the man to be removed from the home, to allow the women, and most likely 9 times out of 10 children, to stay within the home and not be uprooted until it's all figured out. Now, if that is the case, but he is rightfully the owner and she is just residing there, once they get into court, that will be established and it will be an order set down by the court for her to be removed from the property and find another place to live.
Right, but in the meantime, in between time, I gotta get out my own fucking crib where I pay the bills here.
Yeah, you absolutely right, and it's not always fair at all. It's not always fair, and for whatever reason, and again, if we think about things that are grandfathered in, times where 9 times out of 10 a woman is being a housewife, is being a stay-at-home mom, or whatever the case may be, and typically the man is providing, paying all of the bills and all of that. She doesn't have the resources as he would to just up and relocate, even for momentary.
A lot of times it's a false reality, because it's like, you think because this is I got the house in my name, and because I'm paying all the bills, that I could just go to a friend's house, that I could just go to my mom's house, that I could just go get a hotel room all the time. This might be my only place that I can be at too. And you telling me I gotta get out.
Right. And some people don't have, and I've seen it, we've represented individuals like this where they don't have family, or they don't have necessarily, they don't necessarily have friends where they can just go and stay, with them, and just they don't have enough money at that point in time to go get a hotel room for a month or 2 months or whatever, plus pay for legal services that they now have to
I'm still paying all
have
the
in
bills
place.
at this house that y'all
And
told me
plus,
I had
I'm
to
still
leave.
paying it. Right, because I have to protect my credit. I have to keep a roof, because once this is all said and done, this is my shit. So I gotta maintain this roof. Like, it's a lot of things that go into place, and sometimes that's where it's unfair and unjust. But I don't know if the laws will ever change in that sense.
It's hard out here for a pimp, please.
Not hard out. It's hard out here for a pimp.
What we supposed to do? What we supposed to do? Cause y'all bad. Now I gotta get out my whole house because y'all bad.
Right. And I mean, in true cases of abuse and battery, where women are in fact being battered, because we don't take away from those true situations where a woman is actually, being abused and being battered.
Now I'm talking about just the argument. Y'all just
we're talking about just the argument. This is why women just, contain situations, learning how to contain situations so that the law doesn't get involved. Because what happens is, you then realize when you come out of this argument that it was just an argument, and now your man's getting put out the house, y'all got PFAs, the kids is all in the middle, y'all gotta go to court, y'all wasting money on attorneys to then still be together. And so, we just gotta try to contain that shit.
With DUI situation.
Yeah, a lot of people, the DUI situation, that's a pretty popular one too. You got people getting 3, 4.
I got friends that don't even drive no more because they got so many DUIs. They just don't even drive no more.
Yeah, they can't never get their license back. They keep getting fucking caught up. The more they stack on, the worse the penalty is. After 3 DUIs, you can spend a year in jail. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people think this shit is sweet, just drinking and driving.
My barber did a year in jail for this.
A year in jail on a DUI. Better catch a Uber. Better get a friend to pick you up. Better catch SEPTA or some shit. Because those DUIs that stack is really tough. And people don't realize too. Also, the moment that you reject the breathalyzer or the test, that's an automatic 1-year suspension.
Right.
People out here saying, no, I don't want to take the breathalyzer because they scared. They know that if they blow, they're going to blow high or they're going to blow and it's going to show that they were drinking, and they think, oh, that's immediate guilt. Well, no, as soon as you reject that or refuse, that's an automatic 1-year suspension on your license. Whereas the DUI itself can be worked out without you even getting a hit on your license. So people don't know that either. And I always try to tell people, never refuse. If you get pulled over and you're drinking, take the fucking test and deal with the repercussions. Never refuse, because you're going to lose your license automatically. No arguments, nothing an attorney can do for you.
Thanks. It's rough out here, man. Let us know in the comments if y'all have any questions about any of these laws, anything that's going on, because a lot of times people don't have none of this information.
Nope.
They be lost in the sauce. They don't have none of this information. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the laws. A lot, even like in my earlier years, a lot of times I've gotten out of situations just because the cops didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have certain substances or whatever, but the cops didn't know what it was. So I could skate through on like a misdemeanor because you don't know what it is.
Facts.
So
people don't give up your shit.
Facts.
People don't give up your shit. Like, people think the first thing to do was, I'm innocent and I have to say what X, Y, and Z is, or I have to say what I was doing, or I have to say, no, shut the fuck up.
Facts.
Shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. I have nothing. This is what the drill that I give everybody. I have nothing to say without my attorney. That means not your eye color, not your shoe size, not what you was wearing yesterday, not what your mama name is, because they know all their information. Shut the fuck up, because you're going to twist yourself up into some shit that technically you might not be really twisted up in.
Facts. Because they don't know all the time.
Because they don't know all the time, but they make you see. That's the technique of good police work, the technique of good detectives. They're going to make you feel like they know all this shit when they really don't. So your objective always is to shut it.
Facts. So I used to keep a lawyer on deck, and I used to keep Bell on deck. But I wanted to ask you, is there, like, how do they determine the difference or between you getting a bail and you being able to sign yourself out? I forget what that's called.
Yeah, the being released on your own recognizances, so it's ROR, or sign your own bail, SOB. So the determination of that is your criminal history and the severity or the grading of the charges that you're being charged with now. So let's just say, you're being charged with summary offenses, which is the lowest tier, or misdemeanors, which is fairly low as well, and not felonies. And you have no criminal history. They're not violent, doesn't have anything to do with the gun or whatever the case may be. Then 9 times out of 10, you're going to sign your own bail. You're going to be able to be released on your own recognizances. But even if you have like a low grade case, let's just say for assault or something, but it's misdemeanors or something, but you have a history of assault, no, it's not going to work. So they take into consideration your history and the grading of the charges.
Also, how bail works, like when you first get arrested, like there was times like I only might have my debit card on me, but you can't, like they're not going to allow you to use your debit card to bail yourself out. So if you don't have cash, you got to call somebody to come bail you out. So that was another thing that people don't know. Like, you can't just like, well, here's my debit card and bail myself out.
Nope. And as of late, I mean, they have upgraded the ability to post bail. Like, you can even e-pay, like you can post bail online now. And a lot of those have been set in place after like COVID, especially even more. They pretty much upgraded that system a little bit. just simply because during COVID, a lot of shit was shut down, not the ability to get the banks and to be able to bring cash down or cashier checks or whatever the case may be. So a lot of people don't realize now a lot of the laws as far as sureties, surety meaning the person who's posting your bail, a lot of rules are in place now. So you can't just say, hey, listen, I got a debit card. I got my own money. Can I bail myself out? No, because law will require that somebody has to post it and the surety's name has to be on it. And even if they place the bail in your name, they are still attached to it some way, shape, or form for just tracking purposes to keep hands on you, period. Yeah.
So that is our section on knowing the law. Is there anything else that you've seen a lot or that people just don't know that you want to throw in here before we move on?
No, because I think the main one is talking, like talking, refusing breathalyzers, and also just like with the domestic shit, just like control the shit. And I think those, even still with us knowing these things, even like they seem so commonplace and common sense.
It's emotional impulse. It's emotional impulse.
It's emotional impulse, and people don't even think about it. Study the law sometimes, you know, like read shit. Like people don't read. People just assume, and people go based off to a lot of shows. You don't know how many times I get calls and I be on the phone with people for hours at a time, and they just be like, well, I saw on Law and Order, ma'am.
This is not TV
show.
Yes, this is not TV.
This is not TV. No, he is just not waltzing up out of jail because of a made up law from Law and Order. No, man, that's not how it works. No, read. Yes, read and fill your mind. Even if you feel as though it's never going to apply to you, it's okay. It may never apply to you, but it may apply to a friend. It may apply to a family member. It may apply to someone that is close to you. Know your shit and read. Don't just take people's word for it. Before we get out there,
this is another thing that people get caught up on, that they don't always, because they don't know the law. How does possession work when it's not on your body?
You mean possession in like a vehicle or whatever? Right. Like possession of, like, are we talking about drugs? Or are we talking about guns? What are we talking
about? Drugs or guns?
Yeah. So, I mean, like, people don't understand that even though it's not on your person, and even though it's underneath of a seat, you could be driving Joe Schmo's car, right? You don't know that it's a package or a packet of cocaine, or it could be a bundle of weed. It could be whatever, an ounce of weed. It's going to you. Right. So if you know the vehicles, know the people who car you burn or whatever the case may be, because I see that a lot too. People saying, well, it wasn't my drugs. I just borrowed Joe Schmo's car real quick to run to the store, and this is what happened. And you know, it's unfortunate, but then now that's your case. It doesn't have to be on your person in order for you to be charged.
Facts. So that is knowing the law, people. Do some research, even when people are like in your close proximity, like your family members or whatever. Try to get some of those details so you don't make those same mistakes, or so you don't get caught up in that kind of bullshit, because that's how they rope you up. They rope you up because you don't know.
Yeah.
So when you don't know, they can just put anything on you.
Yep. Facts. So that's simple.
You got to know certain laws. You got to know what people got around you. You got to know how these things can affect you, because that's how they catch you with the fun payment. And I can tell y'all from personal experience, once you get in the motherfucking system, it's hard to get out that motherfucker.
It's hard to get out. If you get out, you lucky. Like if you get a case and you able to beat it and get it expunged off your record and shit, like you lucky. But don't let it happen twice, because it's bound to get something. Even if it's small probation, it's going to be on your record. So You got to be mindful. And one last thing, I will say this one last thing. Tell your attorney tell your attorney the truth.
Facts.
Tell them
You can trust your attorney because they need the information to help you. They need all the information to help you.
This is what I love the most. A person come in, they retain you, they give you this fucking cockamamie story that don't even sound right or sound like it even make fucking sense. And this is what they want you to go into court and defend them with. Stop the nonsense. Tell your attorney the truth. That's the only way they're going to be able to successfully defend you. Otherwise, they're going to be smacked with the truth in court. They're going to go in unprepared, and then you're going to be like, oh, my attorney didn't know what they were doing. No, you lied.
You didn't tell them. Right, you didn't tell them.
Tell them the truth.
Last thing
it's fine.
Last thing I wanted to ask you, Ish, what would you say is like between the differences between taking a plea and going to trial? Like, if your lawyer tells you to take the plea, 9 times out of 10, should you take the plea?
Most good sound counsel who tell you to take the plea, you're going to know that there is no way around it. Not all the time. I'm not going to say all the time that an attorney tells you to take a plea. Is it good? There are some lazy attorneys. Right. There are some attorneys that work for the government. There are some attorneys that work for the state that are overworked and they are outnumbered, and they're going to tell you to take the plea to get it off their palate.
Right, but that's why you should always have a paid lawyer. Try to find yourself a good paid lawyer. Correct. That's in the best interest of you, not a PD Correct. That's basically working for them.
Facts. Because a good paid attorney, they are living and surviving off of their reputation. Right. Their reputation does not include or encompass pleading every fucking body. Right. It is based on winning and getting good outcomes. So therefore, when you get a good paid attorney, they're going to use counsel and sound judgment when directing you on what to do. So if that person comes to you and say, you need to take this plea, 9 times out of 10, there's some shit that done happen in your case where you're going to take that plea and you're going to get the best outcome, because if you go to trial, it's going to be 10 times worse.
Thanks. And I'll tell y'all from personal experience, on my docket sheet, it was looking like a 10 to 20. And my lawyer advised me to take this plea, and that was a good thing.
Yeah. And it's not all the times that people are like you, T, where they say, you know what, this is a good thing. Right. I'm going to just take this 1 to 2 versus 10 to 20. They get ego gets in the way, and they like, oh well, right. I'm not admitting guilt to whatever the case may be, but you're on video,
right? You gotta kind of know, right? You gotta kind of know when you got a chance to beat something and when you don't.
You gotta know,
and that is beyond your knowledge. That is also what you got the lawyer for.
A legal expertise. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And your attorney is savvy in that area. They are also looking at, legalese, like legal basis, and they're also looking at the reality of shit.
And also, as we wrap this up, I want to tell people that it is always your prior history that will get you roped up.
Thanks.
If you have a clean prior history, then you can have some wiggle room to dance. Yeah. But if your prior history is looking crazy, then you're in another fight.
Thanks. And a lot of people don't get that. They're like, why am I sitting in here? Why's my bail $1 million? You got a rap sheet a mile long. No, not all attorneys can be magic workers. They can't look into that crystal ball and say, hey, get them out of jail. Nope, not going to happen.
All right, Ish, what's up? What we doing?
All righty. Well, guess what? Guess what week it is, y'all?
Erotic zone time, people.
It's erotic
Wake the
zone
fuck up.
time,
Wake the fuck
people.
up.
Yes, S gang. What we in
That's
the
the gang. What
building
up?
tonight for sure, for sure.
Time
It
to
is
kick
the
off them
erotic
drawers and them big ass bras.
off the fucking hook tonight. Time to take out them draws and them big ass bras.
Time to kick
Well,
off them
T,
drawers.
listen.
What's up?
It's a listen. First of all, I do have a little sex icebreaker.
I love sex.
Um,
Bring it on.
yes, yes. What is one thing outside of your significant other or your person that put you in the mood within the last 2 weeks?
One thing outside of my person.
Yes. One thing. It could be
I'm a
a
visual.
video.
I'm a
Yeah,
visual person. So anytime I see like a sex scene on TV, it's something. It's up.
it's up. But be specific with just one. If you could think about a picture, a video, a,
Oh
a,
God,
a
Nikki at the
scene.
VMAs.
Nikki at the VMAs. Okay, so that was one that got you in that space, in that mood. Like, ooh, okay. I I will say that people don't pay attention to little things like that. You know what I mean? That well, you remembered it, so
Right.
obviously it
Nah, I
crossed
pay
your
attention to
mind.
that shit.
But there are some people
Right.
that like throughout the course of the day that there was something that triggered
Right.
that sexy emotion in them, whether it was a meme, whether it was something that they saw on the social, whether it was something that they seen in a person out that they was might have got a glimpse or an attraction to or something. Pay attention to those things because they can carry into um other areas
Right.
of your situation. For me, it definitely was the bongos video.
Bongos, bongos,
Yes, Megan and Cardi
Corking,
together, like,
working it up,
after watching that, like,
ass everywhere.
I, yeah, ass everywhere. I felt like my booty could do tricks and
You
felt like
thought you was in the video.
yes, I thought I was in a video. I felt like I could pop my pussy a certain way, and I wanted to do that. Like, so that was what got me in the mood
Right.
to want to be a freak hoe.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm a person of a high sex drive, so it can be anything throughout the day that's gonna be like, damn, what's up?
Right. Right. But you acknowledge that about yourself
Right.
and you are kind of in tune with that. Some people don't acknowledge that and some things are just mundane. Like it's just
I don't think that they
everyday.
don't acknowledge it. I think that they
Mhm.
don't know.
Right.
They're not
Right.
aware. They're not aware of it.
So that's my question too, and we're not going to stay here too long, but how can you not notice it? Like if something makes your dick rise or your pussy jump, like how can you not notice that or how can you ignore that?
Some people are not sexual creatures,
Right.
so
Right.
they don't pay it no attention. Like they're
Right.
not paying attention to it, and some people not ignoring it, but they not acknowledging where it came from. So
Right.
they can have the feeling, but they don't know where they got the feeling from.
Right. Right. And I can understand that. I can understand that. But just if you're one of those people that are just so in consumed in just the day to day and tap into some of this everyday stuff that's happening that could be, opening your mind to just getting more in tune with your sexuality. Because you don't really realize, like, even just with your own sexuality with yourself, if you're not in a relationship even or whatever, you don't have a consistent partner or whatever, like get in tune with your sexuality. I'm telling
Do
you.
you think a lot of people have sexual? They're sexual. Like you think people got sexuality?
No, and that's what I
I'm
that's what I'm
saying.
trying to say, like, because I can, almost just imagine that there are a lot of people that are not in tune with themselves sexually. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? And they don't tap into just sexuality, period. So, it's like do that, tap into that, like acknowledge when
But
you
that's
see
what I'm
something
saying.
on.
I don't think it's something for them to tap into because I don't think that they have it. Like some people just don't have it. At this point, I'm just realizing or I'm just accepting that some people are just not sexual.
Right. Do you think
Majority.
that it could be something that could be sparked? Like something that is
No,
there, but they hamper it and they
no.
kind of
I think it's.
try to
I think
push
it's.
it away?
I think it's either in you or it ain't.
Mm.
And I think
Oh,
for
okay.
most people, it ain't.
Okay. Well, for all my sexy ladies that don't mind tapping into your sexuality, hey, let's get to it. Sorry for the other ladies. Maybe
Radical.
you
What's
can
up?
try. Yes. So listen, the cold weather is coming. We're not able to be
Cuddle
outside.
season. Cuddle time.
Yes, it's cuddle season. It's cuddle time. You know, it's going to be the cold weather. It's going to be snow. It's going to be storms. It's going to be all kind of things. So let's take into consideration indoor activities.
What's up
Indoor
with it?
activities. Okay. It's about to be the winter. So let's go. Let's get into some things that you can do with your partner that can spice up the shit.
I
And
want to
this
go. I
is,
want to go. I want to go.
yes, this is
Dance,
10
dance contest.
Dan- not a dance contest.
Dance
That's a good
contest.
one though.
Get it.
That's a
Go
good
ahead.
one. Like sexy dances or like
All of it.
kid and play
All of
dances, like
it.
dun, 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 dun,
It,
dun, dun.
yo, people don't understand that. I think the kid, like a girl doing a kid and play dance. Some people might view that as some goofy shit. That is sexy to me. A
Right.
girl that's not afraid to be goofy is
Hmm.
sexy to me.
Right. Yeah, I get it. And like some women don't feel comfortable in their goofiness because they
Right.
feel like, oh, he gonna look at me funny. Oh, well, I'm grown. I shouldn't be acting like that. But you know, that type of that's fun shit. And that
Right.
leads to crazy sex. Obviously, if you're just being yourself, you're having a good time and you having fun. That is good. That is not on the list. This is 10 sexy games, just games
All
to
right.
spice up the winter. Okay.
Let's
So
get it.
we're going to start with number one, vibrate the night. So it's date night. It's date night. You guys go out, whether you dinner, movies, whatever the case may be. Put on a pair of vibrating panties, which I sell. Vibrating panties. Give your man the remote control. What?
Shout out to all the women in the chat. I can see y'all capping already. A lot of women is not gonna be with it. But go ahead.
Oh no. Put on no vibrating panties before you guys go out on date night. Hand your man the remote control.
Mm,
Let him take control of the night
mm.
with the interval pulsating levels throughout the night. If you come, you pay for the night's, or if you come or orgasm, you pay for the night's activities. So the objective is to not orgasm or to not come. Now,
Can you explain that? Just real quick, I don't mean to intervene,
mhm,
but can you
that's okay.
explain that to women that there's a difference between a woman coming and orgasm? Because some people
Right,
don't know this. I mean, I
right.
know y'all think that everybody knows all this shit, but they fucking
Yeah,
don't.
right. So coming is the actual process of your body releasing the vaginal fluids. So that doesn't mean you orgasm. It just means that it is your bodily function that when a certain peak is reached, it releases your vaginal walls and muscles contract, and it releases what we call our vaginal semen. It's women's semen, cum, right? But orgasming is your body elevating outside of itself, and endorphins take over your entire body. Now, some people, when they orgasm, they can orgasm and come at the same time, or you can just simply convulse and have an orgasm, and your body takes over a whole euphoric state without coming. It just could be what your body is used to. And not only that, what situation you're in at that point in time, right? So you can come and not orgasm, you can orgasm and not come. It just really all depends. But in this case, let's just say you come or orgasm with the vibrating panties. You got to pay for the entire night.
Oh, man, I just want to say, don't trust me with the remote.
Why?
I'm ODing on that job, man.
Facts. And this is gonna be her at the dinner table. And could you
OD
imagine?
on that job. You gotta take that. You gotta take this remote out of my hand because I'm ODing with the job. I'm
Right,
sorry. I
right.
want to see you. I want to see you fall to the floor at this dinner table.
Facts. And and that's the good fun part about it is because one, he has control, and two, you're relinquishing control to your partner. That's first and foremost. There's a lot of things that's underlying here with this particular game. You're relinquishing control. You're allowing him to be able to take control and say, you know what, he got me. You know what I mean? And he's going to make me and the apprehension of it all because you
Right.
don't know
You
when
don't
he's
know
going
when
to
it's
turn
coming.
it on.
Right.
You don't know. So you can be, taking a bite of food and he could
Right.
just be like, zzz, zzz,
Right.
zzz, zzz. You know what I mean? And it's all in good fun because if you come or orgasm, which 9 times out of 10 you're going to do, you're going to pay for dinner. It's not take a man on a date October. It
Right.
is I'm paying for the festivities for the night for me and my man because he made me come. So that's number one. I feel like that is a good outdoor interactive game because you still go on date nights even in the wintertime, maybe go to the movies, maybe go to dinner, whatever the case
Do
may
you
be.
have this product, man?
Yeah, I do. I have the vibrating panties.
All right. Let
Some
the people.
people don't like, let me tell you, some people that's it's a good seller, but some people don't like it because they don't like the relinquished control.
That's why I said it's cat.
Yep. They don't like to relinquish control. So not many people will want to test them out. They fun though. I'm telling you, ladies, they fun. Okay, so number two is Kama Sutra me. Grab the oil, grab the wine, and a deck of Kama Sutra cards. Sit in the middle of the floor, butt naked. Take turns pulling a card and trying the positions. Now, somebody gonna say, Ish, what the fuck you mean? It's probably like 30 cards in the deck. How long is this game supposed to go on? Well, you don't necessarily have to have intercourse to try the position, but try the position.
Right.
Wrap your body around each other.
I thought Kama Sutra you wasn't supposed to have intercourse.
No, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can, but the idea of the Kama Sutra is soft and sensual.
Right.
So most of it is consisting of body movement and body intertwining more than it is the physical act of sex.
Right.
However, the positions you actually have sex. They're the Kama Sutra sex positions. You know what I mean? But you can also, yeah, you might try one or two where you actually have the sex, but you can just try those positions. Hey, babe, let's just give it a try. Let's just have fun. Let's just pluck the card. We take turns
Shout
and
out to
we
the
do this
women that's
kind of.
open to trying new shit.
Yeah, shout outs. Because that's going, I'm telling you, you could sit there and play that game. A month later, you're going to be thinking about that shit and you're going to try it. You're going to be like, oh shit, I remember that. We fit good together that way. You won't know if you don't try. Try the shit. All right, number three, 30 days of sexy. All right,
Wait a minute. Are we fucking for 30 days?
fucking for 30 days. Challenge each other
I don't
to,
want to hear no more. Game over. I don't want to hear no more games.
now, some
Sex
people
for
got to
30
work.
days.
Yeah, some people got to work their way up to that because we know we've had people that said, well, once a week is good enough for me. Maybe twice a week is
Boring.
good enough for me. Some
Boring.
people will say
Boring.
once a month, whatever the
Boring.
case may be. This is challenging you and your partner, challenging each other, having a conversation, challenging each other to 30 days of sex, 30 days of intimacy and sex of some sort. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same mundane intercourse, but it could be
30 different positions a day.
30
30
different
different
positions
positions.
a day.
A different position for every day.
Facts. Facts. A different way to suck his dick, a different way to eat a pussy, a different way to slide up in it. Whatever the case may be. 30 days of different sexy each day. Challenge yourself. And the person and at the end of the 30 days, reward yourself.
What's
Reward
the
yourself.
reward? More sex?
more sex, a nice gift. You guys can
Oh
agree,
shit,
hey,
nice gift.
hey,
I
after
get
30 days, we can have a couples massage. Treat yourself to something nice. Like implement some different shit in there. So we reward ourselves for, and some people will be like, what I'm rewarding myself for having 30 days of sex for?
because it was great. The
Because
fuck?
it was fucking great. And you took 30 days, you took time out of each day to pay attention to your partner
Right.
sexually.
Right.
Period. All right. Number 4, 30 seconds of pleasure. What you think that's about?
It's 30 seconds of pleasure.
Set a timer. Set a timer. It could be on your phone. It could be the
Right.
little oven timer.
Right. But what if you eat her pussy for 30 seconds and then she about to come and then you be like 30 seconds is up and then she punch you in your face?
Well, then I guess you just gonna walk around with a fucking black eye.
Now I got a black eye because of you,
Now,
Ish.
now you got a fucking black eye. You got to be more careful. 30-second timer, and go to town on your partner for that 30 seconds. You're taking intervals. So at 30 seconds, he gets a turn. 30 seconds, she gets a turn. In that 30 seconds, you decide what it is you want to do. You
Okay.
could suck his dick. You could eat her pussy.
I
You
want
could
I
pay
want the
attention to
person to
her.
tell you what they want you to do for that 30 seconds, man.
Yeah, y'all can change the rules. You can make it fitting for what it is that you like and what you want to do. If the person says, "Okay, ding, let's go. I want you to
Put
suck
my
my
finger.
nipples
Put your finger in her butt.
for facts," and then you gotta do it.
Hmm.
You gotta do it. This could also be a good thing for realizing that's just not for me. We're not gonna do that no more. Exploring certain
We're
things.
not gonna do that no more.
Listen, like, this that's not for me, babe. But it's just all about trying new shit in a different way. Because if we think about it, some shit is just still the same. It's repetitive, but it's all about how you're doing it. So the 30 seconds of pleasure, that's fun.
All right,
That would seem to
I'm
be
with it,
good.
but don't punch me in my eye.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you could get a foot or a knee or something if
Don't physically assault me. It's 3 to
yeah.
5, man. Domestic 3 to 5. Calling the
Ladies,
popo.
make sure you're not hitting your man in the eye or kicking him in the nuts. You know what I mean? I got a thing for hitting them in the nuts and kicking them in the
Oh,
nuts tonight.
so abuse for the nuts
Yeah,
and the nuts.
it's so crazy. All right. So number 5 is try not to have sex. Okay. Make an
Try.
agreement. Yeah, make an agreement.
What the
Make
fuck is
an
this?
agreement.
A Wednesday for
Listen,
her?
make an agreement to try not to have sex. Tonight is a Friday night. We drinking, we being silly, we acting fun. We're not gonna have sex.
That's
But
fine.
I'm going to entice you to want to have sex.
That
So
don't work for me.
it don't work with you. So she can't walk around, in sexy lingerie and some stilettos or something, and you not touch her or you not want to fuck her.
I would want to, but it's not. Look, it's not gonna.
Oh, so you can hold it.
You
Well,
gotta
then this thing
remember.
won't work for
You
you.
gotta remember because I'm used to it's a regular fucking Friday. You ain't trying to fuck anyway. So
Then this game is not gonna work for a nigga like you.
right. So I'm
Right.
used to
But
it. Like
it just may work for other people. Look, you like this ain't gonna work for me. But so the objective of this little game or this little challenge is to to do things like to put on porn or to put on audio erotica, walk around naked or in sexy lingerie, or
well,
for men.
let me ask
Mhm,
you. Let me ask you and the rest of the ladies in the comments. If you're
mhm.
watching porn with your man, does that turn you on to fuck your man, or does that turn you on to try or outdo the porn?
Oh yeah, well for me it would be to turn me on to fuck my man.
Okay. Let me know
Yeah,
in the chat what y'all
yeah.
answer. Does that turn y'all on to fuck your man, or does that turn you on to try the things that they're doing in the porn or outdo the porn?
Mm-hmm. I would think that um, most people would not try to outdo the porn. Some of them chicks be getting dicked down,
I'm trying
bends
out
backwards.
every time.
Yeah, I think the guys definitely would try, but the women, shit. Pussy hole might not be able to take all of that. But the loser of it, like whoever moves forward and wants to have sex or does something to initiate the sex has to give head for an hour.
I'm with that.
Yeah. Has to
I'm
give
good.
head for an hour, the loser. So that was number 5. Number 6, what's your fantasy? You take a jar or a hat or a satin bag, write down 5 fantasies each. It could be foreplay, role playing, position. Um, Mix them all up. Take turns picking out the fantasy or the role playing or the whatever, and then act it out for however long you can do it without having sex,
Right.
without actually having intercourse. So this is fun because then it's, hey, listen, I saw something or I thought about something. I want to give it a try. This is ways to slide shit in there too. Maybe
All right.
see
So
you want.
what are we role playing, right?
Mhm.
And I got the dog around her neck, right? And I'm like dragging her through the crib, and but she I can't smash her there. Like I just drag her through the crib with the dog, like. Like, is she mad at me now? Because I dragged her through the crib.
No, because that's a part of the role playing. But is it? Yeah. Are you gonna fuck her at the end of that?
I would if she want to fuck.
Oh yeah, but
If
no,
she
she
don't want to
shouldn't be
fuck, I'm
mad.
just laughing at her being dragged to the crib.
No, I would hope that she would want to be fucked after being dog walked.
Some girls might not want to, man. They might be like, "This is some bullshit. Why you got me dragging me through the floor like a dog?"
Yeah, either some sex or some hammer time, some something. Like, is she going down and getting busy? Like, while she on her knees getting walked around? Like, it's got to be something's got to come from it though. Not just don't just walk me to fuck around. What's happening after I'm being dog walked?
Nothing.
That's really into the dom submissive
Right.
submissive area, which is fun, but you gotta, you know what I mean. Some people will stay right there just in that space and they don't know how to just like elevate it. So
They can't
yeah,
let
there's
go.
like, huh?
They can't let go.
Right. They can't let go. That's it. And a lot of these is about stepping
Letting go.
outside and letting go. 30-minute prisoner.
What's that mean?
That means
You
each
chaining me for
partner
30
takes
minutes?
turn. Yep. Each partner takes turn. So he gets tied up
This
for
is a
30
trust
minutes.
thing,
This is a trust thing. You should
and I'm
always
with it,
trust your partner.
and I'm with it. But I'm letting you know ahead of time.
Don't fuck with my asshole.
Don't touch my ass. If you touch my ass and I can't kick you, punch you in your face, whatever, I can't harm you. When this 30 minutes is up, you better leave me tied up. That's all I'm saying.
Facts.
Because
Facts.
I ain't gonna forget. I don't care how many minutes went past. I ain't gonna forget what you did to me.
And you
That's
ain't
your
gonna
ass.
fucking forget. But yeah, I mean, obviously there might be boundaries set beforehand where you say,
I would
hey,
love to
listen,
do it though. I would love to do it. I would love to be tied up for the 30 minutes and you can have your way with me.
all right.
Just like the class.
Yeah, just don't go near certain areas. And the women can set boundaries too, like if they don't like anal play or
Look,
ass
I don't
play.
care if you I don't care if you sit on my face. I don't care if you sit your ass on my face. It's open season, but don't touch my ass.
Right. Just don't touch my ass. Right, right. And women, they can put their little boundaries too. But it's only for the 30 minutes. Set a
What if he wanna
timer.
what if he wanna put his dick in your area? You rocking?
Yeah. You can put it in there. I don't know how far it's gonna go.
Oh shit! Hold on. I got a quick question for you because I saw this
Mm.
on Facebook the other day, and a lot of people was lost. So I know the answer, but I need you to explain to the people because people don't know this. So it says something like if the girl gives you access to all four holes, you should never cheat on her. And people are in the comments saying, what are the four holes?
And what are the four holes, T?
So my answer was the mouth was one, the ass was one, the vagina was one, and the pee hole was one, right?
Okay. So yeah, that would be the four, but people always will say like other orifices, like and that's two, but you can always stick in one, like the ear or the nose. Let me tell you, it sounds weird, right? But there are fetishes where men want to come in your nose
Right.
or come in your ears.
But
And
why is
and
the
that's
dick
for
bigger than your nose? How big is your fucking nose?
well, it stretches a little bit. Like if you
I don't
see,
give a fuck. Your nose gotta be a certain big, and then you want me, and then I'm gonna stretch your nose some more. You already
right. Well, I
got a
mean,
big
the
ass
dick
nose.
is not
I'm not
fitting
stretching
up
your
the
nose
nose.
some more.
Right. The dick is not fully fitting up there, but enough for him to come in it. So the fourth hole is an optional hole. You're right. Pee pee hole, ear, nose, um, any man-made holes. Like I don't really know. But no. But yeah, like typically the fourth hole is the optional hole. And so yes, you are right. A lot of people don't know that, but
They was lost like a motherfucker.
they
Like
was
what?
lost. Yeah, they was thinking like what is up? What is up? But and they probably because they're probably not thinking in the context of halfway or just being able to just like fit in there as a whole or sticking like your finger or your tongue in the pee pee hole, whatever. Like they're probably thinking of actual full penetration. And that's probably why it started getting confusing for some people.
I was like, y'all's not. I was
Wow.
like, that's why I hate it here because people is not fucking enough. They don't even know
Nope.
this shit.
Exactly, exactly. All right, we getting through these. We's almost done, guys. At the end of it all, you guys are gonna put in the chat which ones you are interested in even trying. Make this winter a little spicy. Number 8 is tear it off. So
Oh shit!
buy some cheap ass clothes. Ladies, buy a
I
little
don't care what
eight,
clothes it is.
yeah, $8 dress
It could
from
be my
Amazon.
expensive clothes.
It could be your expensive clothes. Well, some people don't
Not
want
my
to.
Jordans, not my sneakers.
Right. Some people
But
got,
my
yeah.
expensive clothes. If we having some wild sex, you think I would be like, damn, why you rip my shirt and then stop the fucking? No.
Right. But
It's
some
come
people
up.
won't. They be like, all right, well, let me take
Right.
this off real quick. Let me, you know what I mean? But for the purpose of just this period, you can plan and he can have a softer
Right.
t-shirt or a pair of boxers that doesn't mind getting ripped. She can have on a dress that he can rip off or a pair of panties that are not her
Can we
favorite
stay,
Victoria's Secret panties.
can we stay there right there for 1 second because y'all women do not care about fucking up our clothes. Like y'all don't care about fucking up our boxers. Y'all don't care about like you want like we could be fucking and you gonna take my t-shirt and rub all the cum up. Like y'all don't be giving a fuck about our
I
clothes.
know, I know. But most of the time, you should not have any clothes on.
I agree. I agree. But there are
Like,
certain times
but
when
at certain
you
times
be
when,
getting at it. But what
yeah,
I'm saying is when that happens, I've seen a girl just take my they don't give a fuck. They take my shirt and be like, I'm
right,
like,
and just
I be
stretch
thinking in
and
my head,
fuss.
like,
And,
damn,
yeah,
like
and certain cum stains.
right.
Like it stains it like bleaches. We
Right.
have to, yeah. So it kind of just
Right.
ruins the entire shirt.
That stain ain't coming out. Like
Right.
it's going to diminish some, but it's
It's
still going
gonna
to be there, especially in
exactly,
boxers or in
exactly.
certain draws. That
Right.
stain is going to always be there, and y'all be giving a fuck. And we ain't going to talk about the red light situations because
Right.
during those times, I didn't. a couple pairs of my favorite boxers then got messed up. That's
Got
all.
ruined. Oh man, yeah. This would be an exercise or a game where you have specific items that you're going to ruin, that you're going to, um, this is perfect for times where y'all been arguing all fucking week, or
Right.
y'all been in a bad space, let's just say, and y'all got some pent up aggression and pent up, you know, anger or something, and you want to rip the clothes off of each other,
Okay.
literally, and fuck.
I ain't mad
Okay.
with it. Get
Yeah.
to it.
So get to it. Yep.
Get to it.
Buy some shit that's going to rip off and take out the sexual energy and aggression on one another by ripping the clothes off and fucking. All right. 9. X marks the spot. One
Oh shit.
partner is blindfolded while the other partner puts an X on their body and marker somewhere. Okay. As the blindfolded partner attempts to find it, the person who placed the X on is going to guide them. They're going to say, oh, you're
Yes.
getting hot, you're getting cold, you're getting hot, you're getting cold, you're getting hot, you're getting cold, whatever the case may be. Once the partner finds the spot, then he has to go, or he or
I
she
got a
has to
question.
go. Go ahead.
If she put the X on her pinky toe with the bunion and tell me to kiss it, can I karate kick her out the room?
Nope, that is not the name of the game,
All
T.
right, go ahead. I'm just saying
No.
because a girl will do that shit.
Yes, I got you. But hopefully, she will not place the X on a part of her body that she knows is not favorable to you or not favorable in general. Hopefully, she's going to put the X on a good spot where you can go to town. And you got to go to town for 15 minutes.
Okay.
So, wherever the X is, and
What is
it's
what is
your
the
choice.
what is the spot for you that you absolutely don't want, Ish?
The back of my fucking knees.
No, what is the spot on him that you don't want?
Oh,
What's wrong with the back of your knees?
no, because I'm not fucking trying to be fucking a squirm worm. Like
Oh,
the
you
back of
can't
my
take
knees
it?
is so sensitive. I can't take it.
Oh,
No.
all right.
No
I
back
thought
of
you
the
didn't like
knees.
you
No,
can't take
no,
it as different. All right, what's the
no,
spot
I
on
can't.
him that no, I don't want to do
I'm gonna probably say his feet.
that. The bottom of his feet. He
Yeah.
got ashy feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably say the feet. Cause I think majority of the other parts of the body is cool. It's cool. Oh well, ass. Yeah. Please
You
don't
ain't
put
gonna
an
go
X
town?
on your asshole.
You ain't gonna go to town on his ass?
No,
Yes, you
I don't
do.
want
He's
to.
go to town on his ass.
No, I don't wanna.
That's
No, I
a
don't
shit.
wanna. I said that, I would could maybe possibly consider it, but that's just not necessarily one of the places that I want to do. That and feet. That
All
and
right.
feet. So X marks the spot is a good one. Take turns.
I definitely got a foot thing. Like if you got bad feet, I don't even want to touch your feet. If you got bad
Right.
feet, I don't even want to touch your feet.
Right.
But my spot would be is if she had hairy underarms. If she had hairy underarms, don't put the X there. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. That put the X under the underarms and you gotta be up there.
Right.
Not a good look.
Yeah,
Not
no.
a good look at all. That's one that I probably wouldn't have even thought of that one there. The hairy pits. Because ladies, why are your pits hairy?
Right.
Not the pits. I mean, if you want a little hair on your pits, that's one thing.
Right.
But the pits, no,
Yeah, no.
not the pits. All right. So the straight face. This one is a funny, goofy one too. All right. So this is straight face. You need a paper, pen, and like a small bowl or a small jar. You're
Right.
going to write random words or random phrases on these pieces of paper. You're going to put them in. You can make it up 5 or 10 from each side and put them in the jar. The person is going to sit down with mouthful of water, okay, and pick out a piece of paper. The person is going to speak it out, but in a funny voice or acting it out or whatever the case may be. The first person to spit out the water, well, not the first person, whoever spits out the water has to take off a piece of clothing.
Right.
So it's like Strip straight face is what it's called.
Okay.
Right? So you have to keep a straight face. You can't laugh or spit out the water. And if you do,
Wait
then
a
you
minute.
have
What
to
am I
remove a
laughing at
piece of
though?
coke. Because it's just like, it's kind of like charades. So they write words or
Right.
phrases on the piece of paper, and then they pull out a piece of paper and they have to act out
Oh, okay.
or say this, and then, but in a funny way to try to make you laugh. Now
Okay.
the
So it's like the
objective is
wilding out.
not
It's
to
like the
laugh.
wilding out spit game.
For correct.
Okay.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. But in turn, you have to strip.
Okay.
So, if you lose a round, then you're taking off a shirt,
Okay.
taking off a bra, your panties, whatever, until whoever is completely naked. And then whatever happens, happens.
I'm winning this game, Shorty. You lost. I'm winning this game.
But yep, that was it. So that was 10 different fun games.
All right, I got a question.
Yep.
All right. Do women like when a guy is like tonguing her, like in her ear, like the air joint? Do girls like the tongue in the air? Because some girls don't like that, some girls like it. So how do you feel on the tongue in the air?
Well, I think too, for some people, or it could be either, well, what we're talking about women, you said to some girls, but I think for some people that the wet aspect, like a tongue is very wet.
Mm,
Like, so if it's in an ear,
mm.
some people don't like the wet feeling. Like, sometimes even when you take a shower,
Right, but
you don't like it in there.
you gotta. I ain't saying you not hog spitting in shorty ear like you just you doing the tongue jaw like.
No, I know, but some people like don't like that wet feeling.
Right.
So even though it's not like you hog spitting, or it's a gush of water, just that wet feeling, some people don't like, and I think that's what is bothersome for some people, because they don't like that wet feeling. Because otherwise, it's cool. It's a sensation, um, tantalizing play. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't you like it? But I
Well,
think it's
I
the
don't
wet.
mind it when you do it to me, shorty, and
Mhm.
I don't mind doing it, but I know that some women don't like it.
Yeah. And I think it's all a matter on if you like, some people don't like their feet to get wet. You know what I mean? Some people don't like their seriously.
Okay.
Like in a shower, yes.
No, I mean
But
in any water, long as
in
my sneakers ain't on there, I'm cool.
right. Right. I know people that don't like the ocean, like don't like their feet to
Yeah,
get
I
wet that
don't
way.
like
Don't
none of
like
that
the water
either, but I'm
plug.
gonna let
Yeah.
my feet get wet.
Right. So they don't like
They just dirty.
tongues on their
They
toes.
dirty. That's all.
Yeah,
They
they don't
dirty.
like they don't like tongues on their toes. You know what I mean? Because they don't like their feet to
So
get
is
wet.
that a thing for do most women like getting their toes sucked, or is that just like a power play, just to be like that nigga sucked my toes? Is it a sensation there? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, for me it is. But
Okay,
I've heard women say it's not.
right,
Like they don't feel nothing. It's just wet and they
right,
hate it. And I'm like,
right,
don't fucking do it.
right.
Um, but for me, I think the ticklings, I like tickling. So that for me is cool. Like I like that. So I'm cool with the toe sucking and the toe play and stuff. The feet massaging and licking and all of that shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let us know in the chat if y'all like y'all toes sucked, if y'all like the tongue in the air, if y'all like the tongue in the butt, whatever. A lot of these things, because a lot of these things, some people feel sensation, and a lot of these things, some people it's a power thing to be like that nigga ate my ass or that nigga did X, Y, and Z. So, or is it a pleasure thing or is it a power play for you? That's what I want to know, people.
Mhm.
Put it in the comments. What is it, pleasure or power? That's what
That's good. Pleasure, power.
pleasure or
I think
power.
most of it is probably pleasure, but depending on where you
Come on,
fall
man,
on
it's
that Richter
power.
scale,
Right,
it'll be power. Yeah.
right. Mm, I ain't tripping.
Fakes.
Do
Fakes.
you
So that
do
was
you
the erotic zone.
do you feel any power over a nigga if he ate your ass?
No. No, because it's, you know why? Because it's all about pleasure for me.
Right.
Like, um, even though I have a dominant nature,
Mm.
I don't utilize that. Like, I don't look at things in that context.
Right.
Like as being a dom, where it's like I feel power over you because you better eat
Because you
this
know
today.
some people feel like that over oral sex.
I know, I know, and yeah, no, I'm not ever in that space. I think that takes for me personally, I think that takes the fun out of it.
No, I'm just saying, like, imagine a girl being like, I don't care about that nigga. All he did was ate my pussy. And so as the nigga, you think I'm gonna be like, feel some kind of way?
Anyway, right, right. That's what I'm saying. I think shit like that just takes the fun out of it because it's
Right.
like, okay, we're having sex, we're engaging in sexual behavior. Like you're taking the fun out of it by demeaning it in
Right.
any sense or feeling a certain power because the other party did X, Y, and Z. That's whack to me.
Facts.
Yeah, it's whack to me.
Grow up, people.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Grow up, people. This is Uncensored Minds, episode 149. We are gearing up for our big episode 150. I don't even know that how we I feel like we should have been here at 150. Like it
I
feel like it's been a
know.
long time in between episode 100 and now 150.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
So we are coming up on the big 150. Nell's not here. I just want to say real quick and go on in 60 seconds. Um, put some prayers up for my man Nick Chubb, who's the running back for the Cleveland Browns, who damn near got his knee uh fucking crushed. So he had a nasty injury on Monday Night Football, which took him out of the season. He's one of the top players in the NFL, and he's now out for the season. And there's possible that since this is his second time, he did injure this same knee at Georgia when he was in college. So it's possible that he may never play again. So put some prayers up for Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see who else is team won today. And I also want to say, one of my favorite shows, Winning Time, was canceled. I don't even think they finished out the whole season. They just clipped it. So we're not supporting our people and our shows correctly. If y'all want to see content that you like, you have to support it. You have to tell your friends to support it. Yeah, even whether that's streaming it the day it drops or whenever you're available, even if you have on certain shows in the background that you're not watching, we have to support our content or it's going to be getting clipped, people.
That's facts.
That's what it is.
That's facts. That's facts. And then we'll be sitting saying, "Oh,
Right.
I missed that show," but we gotta
Right.
support. We gotta support it.
Support the shit
Facts.
that you like. And even if you don't like it and you want to show some support, just have it on in the background. You don't gotta watch the shit. Just have it on.
All right.
Show some support to something. Like
Yep. Yep. Or put somebody else onto it.
right. Get off of TikTok. Everybody is like TikToking it up. Now, in the meantime, one of our favorite actresses, like Tashina Arnold, is no longer working now. Now she's singing because they're not being supported in the right ways, man.
Thanks. I can't. I can't. Tashina. Shout out to Tashina Arnold. Anybody want to take me to that show when they come here in Philly? I am open. I am open to going. Facts.
Yeah, I'm open to going just because Terrell Hicks is going to be there, and that was my girl from the Bronx Tale, and she
From the
still looks
Bronx
exactly the same.
and
So
Belly,
I would,
right?
yeah, I would definitely
Yeah,
go see Keisha.
facts.
What
Facts.
is happening, man? But this is episode 149. People, we gonna get up out of here. Make sure y'all like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that live bell notification, get your Uncensored Minds merch, be an Uncensored Minds member. There will be exclusive content dropping for y'all ASAP. And any last words, Ish? What's up?
Thanks for tuning in to the world's greatest
The world's greatest conversation, man.
conversation. See you next week.
Deuces, people.
Deuces.